What did you say?
To make sure they understood why I do what I do. And it's me believing that the worst will come. And it was a detailing letter. Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. This is a letter to your wife from prison. You will die in jail.
The worst will come, and I want my children to know that I haven't yet.
Elon Musk, the tech mogul known for shaking up industries, has now set his sights on British politics. But has his latest intervention backfired spectacularly?
I knew that nothing had been done to do that.
So you're sat down writing your letter to your wife and your children, and what are you telling them?
That I know by doing what I do that that moment will come. And I said to my wife, I'm getting moved, but nothing from the outcry outside, from Lord Pearson, who's a lord in this UK, making comments to make sure I'm safe. And I know that, and I've chose that.
In a stunning twist, Musk's attempt to champion free speech by supporting Tommy Robinson has ignited a firestorm of controversy. As accusations fly and tempers flare, we're left wondering, is this a turning point for online discourse, or has Musk inadvertently become a pawn in a larger political game? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Elon Musk's sudden dive into British politics has left many scratching their heads. The tech billionaire, known for his electric cars and space ambitions, has now thrust himself into the center of a heated debate about free speech and judicial fairness. But what prompted this unexpected move? Musk's history as a self-proclaimed free speech absolutist provides some context. He's long positioned himself as a champion of unfettered expression, often butting heads with governments and media platforms over censorship issues. His acquisition of Twitter, now rebranded as X, was partly motivated by this crusade. So when Tommy Robinson's case caught his attention, it seemed like a natural extension of his advocacy. But Robinson isn't just any controversial figure. The far-right activist, whose real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon, was slapped with an 18-month prison sentence for contempt of court. The charge stemmed from Robinson breaching a court order that prohibited him from making certain claims about a Syrian refugee. Musk, viewing this as an assault on free speech, decided to throw his considerable influence behind Robinson's cause. What started as a critique of Robinson's imprisonment quickly spiraled into a series of inflammatory accusations against Keir Starmer and the UK government. Musk's tweets went from questioning the fairness of Robinson's sentence to implying that Starmer was complicit in covering up child exploitation. This escalation turned what might have been a nuanced debate about legal overreach into a political firestorm. The backlash was swift and severe. Labour MPs and media figures accused Musk of recklessly politicizing sensitive issues like child sexual exploitation. One Labour MP didn't mince words, stating as Musk has pushed it too far this time. Twitter, now X, is really rapidly becoming a cesspit even for disinterested nonpartisan types. The criticism highlighted the growing concern about Musk's outsized influence on political discourse. What Musk may not have anticipated was how his intervention would amplify far-right narratives. By throwing his support behind Robinson, known for his anti-Muslim rhetoric, Musk inadvertently lent credibility to extremist viewpoints. His tweets turned Robinson's case into a global conversation about free speech and government control, but not in the way he might have intended. The tech mogul's foray into British politics raises uncomfortable questions about the responsibilities of social media platform owners. Can someone who controls a major communication channel remain neutral when weighing in on political issues? Musk's actions have been characterized by some as a form of high-stakes trolling, using his platform to influence political narratives in ways that align with far-right ideologies. Elon Musk's Twitter tirade against Keir Starmer has reignited a dark chapter in British history. The child grooming scandals that rocked cities like Rotherham and Rochdale have once again been thrust into the spotlight, but this time with a twist. Musk's accusations have painted Starmer, the current Labour leader, as a key figure in an alleged cover-up, but how much truth is there to these explosive claims? The grooming scandals that plagued British cities were truly horrific in scale. In Rotherham alone, over 1,400 children were sexually abused over a 16-year period. The perpetrators were predominantly Pakistani men targeting vulnerable young young girls. It's a wound that has never fully healed in British society, and one that far-right figures have exploited to push their anti-immigrant agendas. Enter Keir Starmer, who served as the head of the Crown Prosecution Service, CPS, from 2008 to 2013. This period coincided with the emergence of these grooming scandals, putting Starmer squarely in Musk's crosshairs. The tech billionaire's tweets implied that Starmer had turned a blind eye to the abuse, possibly out of fear of being labeled Islamophobic. But does this accusation hold water? Official probes into the scandals have not found Starmer culpable or suggested that he obstructed prosecutions. In fact, Starmer's record paints a different picture. In 2012, he ordered a comprehensive restructuring of how the CPS responded to sexual exploitation cases. Starmer has also pointed out that under his leadership, the CPS brought the first major prosecution of an Asian grooming gang and left office with the highest number of child sexual abuse cases being prosecuted on record. Starmer's response to Musk's accusations has been swift and decisive. He's doubled down on his commitment to protecting victims of sexual abuse and rejected the narrative that he ignored victims' pleas during his time as Director of Public Prosecutions. These discussions need to be based on facts, not lies, Starmer emphasized, attempting to steer the conversation back to solid ground. But in the world of social media, facts don't always win the day. Musk's tweets have given new life to far-right narratives that have long used the grooming scandals as a rallying cry. Figures like Tommy Robinson have seized on these events to bolster their anti-immigrant and anti-Muslim agendas, muddying the waters of public discourse. The unintended consequences of Musk's digital crusade are becoming clear. What started as a defense of free speech has morphed into a political firestorm that threatens to undermine the very principles Musk claims to champion. By amplifying unsubstantiated claims and far-right talking points, Musk has inadvertently lent credibility to extremist viewpoints. Elon Musk's involvement in Tommy Robinson's case has transformed a legal matter into a political firestorm, raising eyebrows about the responsibilities of social media moguls. The controversy has thrown a spotlight on the delicate balance between championing free speech and the potential for misinformation to run rampant. It's a tightrope walk that's left both Musk and Keir Starmer scrambling to maintain their public images. The backlash against Musk's support for Robinson has been swift and fierce. Critics argue that his tweets have given a megaphone to far-right narratives, potentially undermining the very principles of free speech he claims to defend. It's a classic case of good intentions gone awry, with Musk's attempt to highlight perceived injustice, instead reigniting debates about child exploitation and immigration. As the dust settles, both Musk and Starmer find themselves in a political quagmire. Musk's credibility as a free speech advocate is under scrutiny, while Starmer faces renewed questions about his tenure as head of the Crown Prosecution Service. Meanwhile, Tommy Robinson remains a divisive figure, his imprisonment now a flashpoint in the ongoing debate about the limits of free